Hey guys, welcome back. So guys, in this video we are going to start with the new topic, that is Nuxt JS. Okay. So guys, basically we are going to do a CRUD application in Nuxt JS using Laravel API. So guys, now let's get started. So as simple, here we have a command to create a Nuxt application, or let's get started with the documentation. Okay, so here you see the installation process, and for the new project you require a Node.js and one text editor and a terminal. Okay, so make sure your Node.js version is above 16. So now guys, let us get started with this npx command to create the project. Okay, so let's copy this and this will be the project name here. So guys, I have already created one folder with the Nuxt CRUD, and now here I have opened the project in a VS Code editor. So you see that Nuxt CRUD. So now guys, let me just make it full width, and here we paste the command and then type the project name. So I don't want to create another folder inside my Nuxt CRUD folder. Okay, so I just wanted to install or create the project in the same directory. So just add a dot and hit enter. Just type yes. Okay, so guys, here you see our Nuxt application has been created, and now it says that install the dependencies with the npm install. Okay, so let's run npm install, hit enter. So it starts the installation of the required packages. So guys, here you see that we just timed out, and again I have run the npm install. This came because of the network issue, and now let me retry to npm install again. So now guys, our npm successfully installed, and here you find the node modules folder all done. And now guys, let's run this application first. So just run the command npm run dev, hit enter. So now guys, our application is successfully served and it started on the URL called localhost 3000. Okay, copy that, get back, and let's paste here, hit enter, and you see that welcome to Nuxt. Perfect. So we have successfully installed our Nuxt JS application and run the application. So now guys, let us just set up few things. So just go to next.config.ts file, and here you have to set up your meta title, descriptions, and your bootstrap, CSS, and few things. Okay, so guys, now let's get started. So first step, let's move to our doc, and here you move to the SEO and meta. Okay, so here you see that on this config you can use in this way. Let us copy this and get back here, and you paste it. Done. So now guys, inside this head title, where you can mention that Nuxt 3 CRUD application, meta colon open and close array, give comma, and inside this you can set all your character set. Okay, you can use this inside your meta tag, open and close curly brace, paste it, all done. And here you give comma and again open and close curly brace, add a name colon inside single quote, again give comma, and then your content colon single quotes, where you paste this viewport name, and this is the data you are passing here. All set. So this was the setup for this, and now you can remove this, we do not require. And here you can add one more name colon, where you can tell not name, it's HID. Let's make it HID. That is your description, meta description. Okay, where again you will add the name colon inside single quotes. That is going to be meta description, and then give comma. Oops, here I missed the comma. So add a comma and then your content equals to, again just add the same code, and you can mention as meta desk to confirm that. And one more thing guys, that is your format detection. So format hyphen and again content colon where telephone. Okay, telephone equal to no. All set, guys. So these are going to be the meta. I think I have missed the comma over here. Yes. So all set. And now guys, if you want the links, so you can just link colon again open and close array inside this. And if you want the script, script script colon open and close the array. So here you add your links. For example, you can just find that in here itself. If you go on the links, let me show you. So here is a way how to use link. Okay, so here you copy it, get back and paste here. All set. This is for the font. If you want to use the same font, so I'm going to leave it because I need this font. So let's add this, and here just add a comma and again open and close. Now I want the icon where you mention that as icon comma, and then what is the type of it. You can mention that image hyphen x hyphen icon. Okay, and then give comma and tell the href colon where you mention the home path fev icon dot ico. So which is going to show here. Let me show you. So by default home, it goes to home path, which is searching for fev icon dot ico. Okay, ico, and then you pass for the bootstrap. So I want to link a bootstrap now. So what we need to do, yes, let's tell rel, and here we'll tell style sheet. Okay, and then href colon. If you want, you can store the bootstrap in your application, or else you can copy the direct CDN link. So let me just copy the CDN link, guys. Go to getbootstrap.com and just copy the CDN links. Now let's go to the docs and you find that CDN links. So here they are. So I'm going to copy this href. Okay, let's copy that, paste inside this href, and then get back again. Here is a rel and integrity and also the cross origin. Okay, so we do not require this. You can just ignore those, and now you can get back. So this is our bootstrap CSS CDN link, and now we are going to start with the script tag. Okay, so here open and close curly brace where you can add the src colon inside single quotes, and this type is going to be as text / JavaScript. Done. And here you are going to add two links. One is your jQuery CDN link and one is the bootstrap CDN link. So first let us add the bootstrap CDN link. So what is that bundle? So here is the bundle. Let me copy this, the bundle JS link. So here I paste. All set. So now guys, let me copy this and also add the jQuery CDN link. So for that you can just Google here jQuery CDN link, hit enter, and we go here jQuery CDN, and here let's get the minified one. Let's copy it. Just copy the link and paste that. That's it, guys. So our script is linked, and CSS are linked, and the title and meta description all are set. So now guys, you can get back and check for this. Okay, so here if you refresh, you find that. Okay, so guys, whenever we do any changes in the nuxt.config.ts file, the application will again restart it. So we just need to wait to restart again, and then you can just get back, refresh, and see the output. So now guys, here you see our application is reserved successfully, and now let us get back and refresh and see the output. Okay, perfect. So here you see the font is little changed and user interface also is changed guys, because we have linked the bootstrap, it just got clashed. So now let me get back to the main file. So let's close all this and go to the app.view. So here you see the Nuxt welcome. So we do not require this, just need to remove it. That's it. And now guys, let us type the h1 tag where welcome main page. And now I just wanted to test that the bootstrap is linked correctly or not. So for that, let me just design a simple button. So you can tell I am button of bootstrap of bootstrap. So here I add a class button primary, save it, and now let's see the output. So if you refresh, awesome. So here you see that bootstrap is linked successfully. And now guys, you find that the title also is Nuxt 3 CRUD application, which is calling from your nuxt config.ts file, okay, by default. And if you want to see all this meta descriptions also, you can just inspect and check out that. Go to the elements, and inside the head tag we find all the meta description and viewport. So here you see viewport description and your format detection. Okay, so all these are contents. Perfect. So guys, we have seen the meta, and now guys, let us create the pages. So how do we create pages in Nuxt application? So it is very simple guys, you don't need to do any routing. So this is the best part of the Nuxt. So you just need to go to your root directory and create a new folder named pages. That's it. And now inside this pages, you need to create one file called index.view. Hit enter, and here is your index page. Done guys. So you can use the view extension. So yep, hit enter and you set up this. Okay, so here I don't require this type. So let me remove it and just add a setup here. And then you can start with the div, open and close div, and here you set up open and close I am home page. Okay, so here I want to set a title for this. So what we can do, go to the docs and move on here itself, use head. So let's click on it. Here is a method, so however you want. Okay, so let me copy this also correctly and get back and paste it here. All set guys. So I don't want this script body meta because I'm going to use a default one, home page. All set. Let's save it guys, and same way you're going to create for the about us page also. Let me copy and paste and rename the file as about-s, about us. Okay, and here you change that about us, and here also about us. Let's save it. So same way, let me copy and paste for the contact also. So let's rename contact-s, contact us. All done guys. Let me change the title here. You save it. And now guys, main thing, you have to go on your app.view file. So here you have to set some things. Let me remove this and tell the next page. So for that, let me show you on the documentation here on this view. Okay, so here you see, now let's move on this pages. So we go here, and guys, this is how we are going to use like index and about us. So to set up these pages, here you see, to use the pages, create index and add Nuxt page component. Okay, and go to the app.view file. Let's go back, and here we are, and you just need to paste it. Okay, let's save it, and now you see the output. Refresh. Perfect. So I am home page, and if you just type about-s, you move to your about page, and you see the title also changes here, about us. Same with the contact us. Okay, contact-s. If you click here, I am contact us page, and the title changes. Perfect. So guys, now let us create one nav bar using bootstrap to navigate the pages. So yep, what we have to do, you can just add one simple component. So let's create one folder named component s. Okay, components. So inside that component, we'll create the nav bar. So now let's create the nav bar or header, whatever you use it. Okay, so let's make it the header part. Header dot view. Hit enter. This is the header, and if you require the footer also, just add the footer dot view, but we will keep it empty itself. V colon view. So here I do not require this. You can just remove it and just use a setup. That's it. Save it, and nav, open and close div, and here you paste your navbar code. Let's get back to the navbar. Inside navbar, here you go, search for the navbar, and let's copy this first navbar and remove unwanted things from it. Paste it, save, and guys, I do not require this form and this true drop downs. And now guys, here let me change this to home, and this will be the about us, and same way you have to copy for the contact us. So before copying for the contact, I just want to use a Nuxt link. Okay, so what does this Nuxt link do? So if you use a tag, it will refresh the page, but if you use a Nuxt link, it doesn't refresh, but it will navigate through your pages. So for that reason, we are going to use Nuxt link, and here you tell about -s. Okay, so let's copy this and paste here, and this will be the contact us. All done. And now guys, for the home page also, let's change the Nuxt link. Nuxt link, and I do not require this. Make it a 2 and just add a home route. Save it. The spelling are missed. Let's correct that. Nuxt link, and here also you find it. So let's replace as Nuxt link and make it to 2 and just add a // okay, all done guys. And now let's save this and get back to your app view. So here you paste the header. So how can you do that? It's very simple. Just the header and end it. That's it. Oops, here I have made a spelling mistake. Now if you save it, so on the app view it is going to be the header. Let's save and get back here. So you see that the navbar comes over here. Awesome. So now guys, let me align those navbar things. I mean redesign few things. And here just add a shadow, and it's going to be a container, not container fluid. And this is margin start auto. Okay, save it, and now you see the difference. Awesome guys. So now I'm going to click on about us. You see the pages are navigating, title also is getting changed, contact us. Okay, so this is how we set the pages. Okay, So now guys, we have successfully learned how to create the application, link the bootstrap and set up the pages also. So with that, we have learned how to set up the component. And if you want to know how the layout also is working, will work for this Nuxt JS. Like, let me show you a doc over here. So inside this docs, you see the layouts also. Okay, how this layouts will work for this, how it is going to implement in the Nuxt.js application. So if you want to learn, please comment below so I can teach you in a brief way from the scratch how to build a admin dashboard also using this Nuxt.js. Okay. So now guys, in this video, we are going to start with the CRUD operation. So now guys, let's get started. So first let's move to our editor and get started with creating a create page, and we will be inserting the data into our database using the Laravel API. Okay, so now guys, as simple. So we have successfully created the Nuxt.js application in previous video, and now we are getting started with storing the record. So now guys, let's begin. So first step, let's go to our pages, and inside this pages I'm going to create a folder named students, and inside that students folder I'll create one file with the name create.view. Okay, so here we are, set up the view template. So view colon, okay, all set. And now guys, let's begin with the form design. So before that, I just wanted to see the output once, that is student create page. Okay, and in this export, just add a name, student create. Okay, student create. Now save it, and now let's view this page on the browser. Okay, so what is the path? It is students slash create. Hit enter. Okay, so here we are facing that footer doesn't have any data, so let me fill that also. So inside your component footer, just add a template. Okay, so here just an empty div, and I don't require this. You can remove it. Let's remove this, not required. Just save. Let's close this. Yep. Okay, so we are on the student slash create. Done. So we do not need to worry about the routing. It just calls automatically. Okay, so it should be inside the pages, and inside that, whatever your folder and file will be created, according to that, the route will be automatically created in your Nuxt application. So now guys, let's get started with creating the form using Bootstrap. So let's get back. Let's begin with one card, simple card body, card, card header, card body, and here inside the card header, add a h4 tag, add student, and we do not require this. Let's remove it. And here inside this div, so now here I want a tag or a link tag. Okay, so that is Nuxt link, and close the Nuxt link tag and give our name as back button. Here 2 equal to where you will redirect to home page for right now, or else you can just create a students, right? So we don't have right now. Let me redirect to home page, and we will design this button using the bootstrap class as button danger, and let's float it to end. Let's save it and see the output for this first. Let's get back. Perfect. So you have got the design, but let's make this inside a container. Okay, so you can add a container here, save it. All done guys, and now let's begin with the form design. Yep, as simple. Start with the form tag, a simple div with the margin bottom 3, label, name. Let's save. Now you can copy this and paste 4 times. Name, course, email, and finally the phone. Done. And now guys, you need to add one simple submit button. where bootton button, save, and let's design this button as button hyphen primary, and this button type, it's going to be submit. Done. And now guys, we need to link all the input fields with the variable. So for that, you just need to get back to our script, and here you start with the coding of data function. So first, let us tell data function, open and close curly brace and end with comma. So now let's return open and close curly brace again, and here you add a student variable colon open and close curly brace. Inside this, the name single quotes empty, then course colon single quotes empty, and then email, and finally the phone. Done. So we have 4 columns. We are done here. Now you can get this, copy this. Yes, copy the student variable. Now you can get back on your input field and use a v hyphen model equal to double quotes where student dot name. Okay, so whatever you type inside this input field, it will go and save inside that student dot name variable. So same for all your other input fields. Okay, so here you type for the course, then email, and finally phone. Set guys. So whatever you type, it will store inside this variable. Once it's stored, what we'll do, we will click on submit button. So once the submit button goes, it goes to the form tag. So on that form tag, what we are going to do, we will check for the submit action. So submit, and we will be preventing this, like it should not load the page. It should, without loading or refreshing the page, it should save the data. So just use prevent equal to and call the function name. So let me tell save student. So now guys, let's copy this and go below, and inside the script tag we will add one more function, that is methods, where create a save student function, and here you can just console log, or else you can also alert it. So let me tell I'm here. Okay, so when you click on that, let's alert it instead of console log alert. Save it, and now you can get back on the front end. Let's refresh, click on save button, it should pop me I am here. Perfect, so we have worked on it. And now guys, let's get back, and now guys, let us set the loading part. Like when you click on the submit button or save button, it should tell that it is saving. So, and it should be also showing the loading part. So for that, we are going to implement it. Okay, so let's get back here, and first step, let's tell this dot is loading, okay, equals to true, and this variable you have to add it here. By default it's going to be false, and loading is loading text. Also I want to add, so by default I will keep as loading only, not text. Let's make it title, title is loading title will keep. So it is going to show loading, and while saving, when we click on the save button, it should tell saving, not loading, right? So you can just add this loading title equals to saving, save it. And now guys, this option you have to go on top, and when we click on that, we need to show that loading part. So here let me add a div, open and close div, and here v if is loading. When it is true, then you have to show the loading part. Okay, so what is the loading code? Let me go to the getbootstrap.com and get the spinner that is loading. So here you see, So I'm going to copy this first spinner and paste here. So guys, instead of pasting it, let me create this as a component so it will be useful in other CRUD videos. Okay, so I'm going to create one component named as loading.view view colon and add the name colon as loading, and we are going to get a props props colon open and close curly brace, where we'll tell we are getting one title, okay, which will be always string. So now open and close div and get back to your create view. Let me minimize. So this code I'm going to copy and paste inside the loading.view file. All set. So here you go, and this title we will call it here. Paste it. It's done guys, and now you can just get back to your create view and call the loading component loading end, and inside this we are going to pass the props. So what we have created the props here, so this is the props we'll be passing from here and checking in that component. So here what is the data, like you can give the, if you want to give static data you can remove this directly and add loading or saving anything. If you want to give dynamic, then you have to add a colon over here and get that data. So what is that data we are giving here is loading title. Okay, so as simple, let's add that. That's it guys, and you can just add one dot 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 on this loading, save it, and now we can get back, save, and now guys let us see how it's working, this loading part. Let's get back, refresh. Now if you click on this save button, it should show the loading. Cool, so it's showing guys. Now we can get back to the create view. So once this is loading, this component should be in the else part. Okay, I mean this form should be in the else part. So what you can do, you can just add a simple div, open and close div. So here you cut this and paste at the end of the form and just add a v hyphen else. That's it. All done. So when this is loading, it will not show the form. As simple. So now guys, let us get the data and store into our database. So for that, let us start from here. So we are going to use a axios. Okay, that is your HTTP referer. So there are many JavaScript HTTP calls to store the data or get the data, but I'm going to use a axios over here. Okay, so guys, for that let us just get started with installation part for the axios. So you can go to your package.json, and here you see there is no axios. Let's open a new terminal and npm install axios. Let's begin with npm install axios and hit enter. So guys, our axios is installed successfully. So here you see that dependencies, it has come over here. And now let's close this package.json and let's move back to other serving terminal. And now guys, let's begin with insert data into our database using Laravel API with the help of axios. So guys, now axios dot post method open and close and use then function, and here use the response of and open and close curly brace. So now guys, in this post method we'll be using the API to push the data. So where is the API? Let me just show you the API over here. So this is my Laravel API guys, which I have created, and if you want to know how to create this, link given in the description. Okay, so now guys, this is the post method to store the data, right? So let me copy this, and the correct URL path you can find is localhost colon 8000. Right now it is. So you can just get here, get back to the code, and inside the tilde symbol, let's paste the student, and the route, it is going to be localhost colon 8000. Let me copy it from here and paste it. So it is 8000. So which is, I'm running my Laravel application right now, and then I'm going to push the data inside this. So what are the datas? Whatever we type inside this form, the input tags, whatever you have typed, it goes and stored inside the student variable. So let's copy the student variable from the data function and push inside this axios post request. So once data is sent, you will get some response. So that response, you are going to alert it here. Alert, open and close. So response dot data dot success. So what is this success? Let me just show you the response from that API on this store method. Let us go to the student controller where it is the store method. So here is my store method. And now guys, here once successfully saved data, it's going inside the message thing. Okay. So let's copy this message and show that on the front end side. So you can get back here and tell that response.data.message. And before that, I just want to console log also, that what are the datas you get on side this. Okay. And here you add res, all set. And once the data is successfully done, then we are going to copy this and paste here and make this to false. So loading will be false, and this will be back to null, or make it as loading or any other data. Okay. And then I just want to keep all these fields as empty. Copy the student dot name, course, everything, you can make it to empty. Something like this, student dot name equals to null. So same way for the 4 fields, that is course, email, and phone. Save it. And now guys, let us save the data into our database. Yep, let's get back. So here you see we don't have any record, and now we are going to insert one record. Refresh and inspect the developer tool. Go to console log, and let's begin with here with Prakash. So BCA with at gmail.com, phone number, random digit phone number, and let's click on save. So saving, and you get axios is not defined. Why it is not defined? Okay, we have not imported the axios, so you need to import the axios first. Import axios from axios. Okay, all set. Let's save it, and now let's try to save again. Okay, so refresh once again. So add the with Prakash. Let's click on save. Okay, so we got this error. I think, yep, I have missed the API. So here you see guys, that is this Laravel API. We have built this in a API.php. Okay, so for this you need to change this, the route here. You need to add a API slash. Okay, so I have missed that. So for that's it, we got this error. And now let's enter the correct details to save the record. So hit with Prakash here, enter the BCA with at gmail.com and give the correct 10-digit phone number. So it should accept. Let's click on save. So here you got the message called student created successfully. Let's tell OK. And now let's get back on the table database. Let's refresh the student. Here you see, awesome, we have got the record guys. But now guys, what about the input field errors? Okay, so if you give wrong field names, what happens at that time? So let me just show you over here with, and then I'm going to give bca with at gmail.com, and I'm going to give a wrong, I mean only 9-digit phone number. Let's click on save and you will get a response like 422. So here you got the 422, that is unprocessable content. That means input field error. Okay, so what is that error? Let's go to network, and if you see here on that request, go on the preview, you will find that the phone number is missing. Okay, must be a 10-digit number. So we have got that under error. So what for this? So let's fix this also inside the catch statement. So guys, let me add that catch, catch function, and just type the function, type error, and open and close curly brace. Okay, so now guys, let us just check this. It's coming from the data. From data, it's going to errors. So for that, you can just get back, just use the if condition, and here you get the error response. Copy this again, dot status is double equal to 422, and then you store in one data like my this dot error list equals to, you get all your error response dot data dot whatever you send the data from the API. And where is this my this? Let me just create above the axios where my this equal to this. And now guys, you can just copy this error list and paste inside your data function. So it stores all the error details. Okay, let me keep it as an object. And now even the error comes at that time, I'll make this loading as false. How this error come? So for that, you just need to console log this error, console.log. So you get it, and now you need to check from this data errors. Okay, so let me refresh, move to console. So now with Prakash, course BCA, email, let me enter wrong email. Okay, and enter only few wrong numbers. Let's click on save. So you'll find that email and phone number is invalid. So let me show you that it is unprocessable quantity, and here you see that we have got the response, and here you see that there is a response. Okay, and inside this response you move, go to response. Inside that response you move to the data function, I mean data. From that data you move to errors. Okay, inside this errors you see that email and phone are the details. So this errors only I am pasting here, so you can find it here. So it depends on the API to API how other APIs are getting the error list. Okay, so that's it guys, and now you paste this, I mean you push this inside the data function with the variable, and now you can loop this and show into your output, or else you can get the data in different way also. So for that, let me just echo and show you what happens here. Just use error list. Okay, so this dot error list, save it, and now you can get back, refresh. So here you see guys, that is in our object email it is, and it shows that one detail, and then phone it checks for the second detail. Okay, the same way you can just call that this dot error dot email of 0, you can call it directly. So what we can do, like this dot error list of email of 0. Okay, save it, and here you see email must be a valid address. So you can copy this, same process, and Control X and paste below the each input field. Okay, so use a span tag dot text hyphen danger, and you paste. So same way for the course also, let's copy this course, copy and paste, and same it goes for the phone also, copy and paste for. So all done guys, and now let me just show you here one more thing. So what we have to do, we just need to copy this and use a if condition. Like when there is no error at that time, we don't want to show this span tag. Okay. So what you can do, just copy this and paste for all other span tags. So same, you need to change the email, then course, and then finally the name. Okay, let's save it. And now if you refresh here, you'll not be able to get any warnings or errors. Let's refresh. Perfect. Okay. So now guys, one more step, what we have to do, you can get back. Okay, so let's move below on this catch function. So let's make this outside because this is not supporting in the catch function. So what we have done, we have already stored this in a variable called mythis, and you can use that. Let's save it. And now, so refresh once and now try to save, and you face that all the input field is required, and here your saving gone. Okay. So guys, we have successfully learned how to store the data into a database using Laravel API in Nuxt JS application. So now guys, in this video, we'll be seeing how to get the data from the database using Laravel API in Nuxt JS. Okay, so first let's move to our code where our Nuxt CRUD application is, and here we are following with the create file. So let me close it. Let's create a file inside the students folder with the name index view. So just add index.view. Let's set up the template vbase, hit enter. So here it set up the code. If you want how this is coming, you can just install the extension of view volar and continue. So this is my student page. Get started with the template design. So I'm going to use the bootstrap classes for the designing purpose. Just add a card, then card header, then a h4 tag with the students lists, student lists. Let me keep it capital. And here we can create one a tag or a Nuxt link to navigate the page to the create page. Okay, open and close, where you'll mention add student. Okay, and here you can redirect it to, you tell that student slash create. So what is the exact path here? It is students, not student. Okay, so you should see this folder name students slash then your create file name. Done. And now let me just design button primary float end. Okay, let me minimize that. So now guys, let's begin with the card body here, and inside this card body we'll start with the table design. So as simple table.table, and yep, table striped, then table bordered, and then guys you can start with the table head, table row, table heading, that is id, then the other fields, whatever fields you have created. So it's nothing but, let me just show my database. Here is my students folder. So I have name, course, email, and phone. So these are the 4 fields. So you can just get back, name, course, email, and phone. And then finally, let's add created at also, and our action button. As simple. Now guys, you can get back to the table body, and here table row, and inside this table row you start with the table data giving your values. Okay, so let's save guys, and now you can get back to the Google Chrome and move on here. So let's move to the students path where you see the design. Okay, awesome. So I just want to keep this inside a container guys, so it will not be a mess. Just add a container here, class container, margin top 5, save it, and everything is perfect. That's it. So now guys, if you click on this add student, you come to student/create. If you go back, you move to home page. Why? Because you have not redirected correctly. So what we can do, we can just move to our create view, and on the back button here you can push it to students. So this is nothing but the folder name. Okay, now we can save it and close it here. Let's get back. So we do not have a student's navigation on your nav bar. Let me add that also. So where is my nav bar? Let's move on the components, and here is the header. Inside that header I have a nav bar. So let me copy and paste here and just create a simple students. Save it, students. And now let's close this. If you get back here, students, let's click on it, students. Awesome. So now guys, let us just get this data and loop here. So you can get back. So first step, let's move on the script tag. On this export default, let's begin with the data function. Open and close curly brace, and then start with the mounted function. Open and close curly brace. So inside this data function, we are going to create a variable first where we store our students records. So just create a students colon object. Now once the website is loaded, we need to get the students data. So what you can do, let me create one method here, methods colon open and close curly brace, and here we create a function with the name get students. Okay, let me make it capital here, get students function, open and close curly brace. So now let's use axios dot get method, then you get the response, open and close curly brace. And now guys, what will be the API to get the data? So we have already seen that. Let me show you here. So this is a API. So here is my API. Let me copy this and get back and paste here. Okay, so if you don't have, please watch out the video how to create a API in Laravel. I have taught that, link given in the description. Okay, from this response we take that res response dot data. Okay, so whatever data is there, you are going to push inside the variable called students. So let's this dot students equal to, just push it. That's it guys. Then you can start calling this function inside your mounted function. Okay, get student function here. So when the page loads, this mounted function is called, and it is calling this function get student function, and from that you are calling the API with the help of axios. And now let us copy this axios and import it. So make sure it's imported. So it's already imported guys by default. And now what we have to do, let us get the students and loop it. So you can just copy that and go to your table body. So this is my complete table, and inside this table body and table row, add a v for equals to students. Before that, just add this in here, your student or item, and this is the key value, index key values. So you just need to add a key over here, or else you'll be getting a warning. Okay, so skip that warning, we just add this index, and this student you paste here, open and close curly brace, then dot id. So this id is nothing but your response id. Okay, so whatever you get in your API response. Now same way paste for each fields. So what are those fields? Name, course, email and phone. So as simple, name, course, then email and phone. And one more, that is your created at. Let me paste that, created at, and then finally the action button. So right now we don't have, but let me create that buttons. So as simple guys, we are going to create a Nuxt link, and here you make it as edit button. Let's add a class to design this button success. Let's make this button small and mx-2 as simple. And this Nuxt link is for redirecting to some page, right? So let me keep it home page right now. When we are going to work, we will be seeing it. So same way, I'm going to copy and paste for the delete button. So instead of Nuxt link here, we will be using the simple button. Okay, boottion button. You can just type and keep it as button. That's it guys. So now let us change this class, save it. Now let's get back and see the output. Let's move here, refresh. Okay, so we get the two records. Why? We have only one data, but we are getting two records. So let us see what is the issue. Get to the network and check for that axios call. Okay, so here we see we find that students here, and in this students, let's go to preview. Here we have got the data. Perfect. So we see guys that the student has an array of data where inside that it has a single record. So we have got the data, but we didn't loop it correctly. So you can get back to console log and let's get back to the code. So on this axios, we are going to console log. Just use console.log and paste it. Get back, refresh. So here we see we have got the data. So you see that status 200 and students. So inside that students, we find array of data. Okay, so let's copy that and get back. So here response.data.students, you need to call it. And then you are going to store inside the students variable. You can just use this for the console log. So we can get directly the student data. Now if you refresh, perfect. So here you see you have got this data and here also it's shown. So now guys, I just wanted to add a simple loading part. So for that, you can just go on the top inside the card body. If you have seen previous video, so in that I have created a loading component. So we'll be using that same loading component. Just start with the open and close div. And inside this, I'm going to use that loading component. And here we pass a title equals to loading dot 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 as simple. And then guys, you can keep this table also in one div for the else part. Open and close div. Let me cut and paste here. So this will be my v hyphen if. So if where will tell is loading. Okay, when it is true, then show the loading v else. Save it. And now is loading, we have to create it. So inside your data function, just add this is loading true, and then you move below. Here you use when the data is coming is loading, and when the data is successfully loaded, that time you can mention that it is false. So you can add that false, and let's comment this. And now you can just get back to this loading. So let me just show you what it is there in that loading code. It's nothing but a simple spinner code from the get bootstrap. Let's close this and you can get back again. Let's save. So now you can test it. Let's refresh. Here you see that loading icon comes. Now let me refresh again, loading, and then your data loads. Awesome. So now guys, let's add one more data here. Om Prakash, course BCA, gmail.com, random digit phone number, and let's click on save. So saving student created successfully. Okay. And now we can go back and you see that we have two records. Awesome guys. So guys, we have successfully learned how to fetch the data from the database using Laravel API in Nuxt JS. So now guys, in this video, we'll be learning about how to edit and update the student's record in Nuxt JS. Okay. So now guys, let's get started. So let's move to this table view design, that is the students page. So yep, let's go on the students slash index.view file. Okay, so this is my student page, and here if you go in this table view, here is the edit button. As simple. So now guys, inside the student folder, you have to create a file named in the array, add a id, then dot view. So this is a way how we create a file for edit. Okay, so now guys, as simple, let us get back on the index.view. So here on the edit button, here we call the route, that is students, that is my folder students slash the unique name, I mean the id. So this is my id student. So here you pass it, use dollar and open and close curly brace and pass the student id. But here we are facing like it's not editable. So what you have to do, just add a colon before the two, and then use a tilde symbol in the beginning and end of your route. As simple guys. Now you can save it, and then let's go to the id.view. Let me view base. So here we set up this, and here tell I am edit. Okay, save it. And now if you get back, once refresh and click on edit button. So here you see I am edit. And now let's refresh on this URL. So here it sometimes it shows that 404 page not found. Okay, so in that case you can just add this code. So if you go on this nuxt.config.ts file, so just add this line of code. Okay, just save and close that file, and make sure that your Nuxt.js application will be automatically restarting. So now if you refresh here, it doesn't affect and show to the 404 page. So all the things will be working fine. So now guys, let's get back to our edit and update process. Now let's click on edit button, and here you see I am edit. Awesome. So now guys, you can get back and start with the form design. So we have already used the form in our create. Let us use the same form. Let me minimize here, copy this completely and get back and paste here. All set, Control S. So guys, here as simple, here it starts with the margin top 5 and container and simple card, where inside the card we have a card header, where inside card header we have a add student. Let us just edit that to make it to edit student. And here we move back to the students page. So this is correct. So we are not going to change. And coming in the card body, so inside that card body we have a loading part, and then in the else condition we have a form, right? So now guys, you can just copy the same script code. Let's move below, just start from the script, copy everything and paste it. So we'll be modifying accordingly. So here is my script. Let's paste, save it. All set. So first step, here I'm going to change the script name to edit. And now guys, let's get the data from the database and paste inside the student form. So I mean, here inside this edit student form, we have to paste that data from that ID. Okay, so we'll be using this parameter ID and getting the data. So as simple, let's get back to the code. So first step guys, let's move to the mounted function. So here we need to create one mounted function, mounted, open and close, curly brace, and now we need a student ID. So let's create one student ID equals to, you need to add this in your data function. So here I'll keep it null. So this dot dollar route dot parents dot ID. So this is the main concept. So what is this? If you just paste any other name, it doesn't get the data. But if you set it to ID, it will get you the data. So why it will, I'll tell you. So first let me alert this ID, alert. save it, and now get back. So here you see we got the ID. Okay, and if you type it name, let us see, save it, and now get back. It says undefined. Why it is telling like that? Because you have created the file name in that way. So here if you see that inside the array you have mentioned ID, so that is by parameters, so it is checking for the ID, so it depends on the file name. Okay, so comment this and create one function. So get student. Okay, function, let me make it to capital, get student, and inside this get student I will paste this ID, and now you can create one function, that is get student function, open and close curly brace, add a comma so doesn't clash. And now guys, you get the student ID from this function, and you can start the axios code to get the data from your database. So you can just add get, then open and close curly brace, inside this response, open and close curly brace, and here passing the route API. So what is the edit URL guys? So let me just show you my Laravel application. So where is my api.php, and here you see this is the way to get my edit data. Okay, so this is my URL guys. Now you can copy this, get back, and here you will be pasting. So let me copy the complete URL. Let's get back here, copy this complete URL and paste it. So this is the correct URL, and then your API starts here. So now guys, on in this place you need to paste your student ID. Let's copy this and paste here. Just add a dollar symbol so it will be changeable format. Okay, so now you are sending the correct data students with the ID on the edit, and from there the Laravel API does its job and get you the response. So what response it gets, let me console.log and show you that. Okay, and from there you are going to store all the data. This dot student equals to, so whatever response you get, response dot data dot, what is the response we are getting from the Laravel. Let me just check it out. Let's get back on the edit. So it's nothing but a student variable. Okay, so you'll be getting the this variable named student in your response. So we'll be seeing that in this console log. Okay, so not to worry about that. Let's save it guys, and then we come back to the data function. Here we have mentioned all these fields we do not require. Just keep a simple object, that's it, null object. It is going to fill automatically, as simple guys. Now you can test this. Let's get back. Okay, let's refresh, let's console it. So go to console log. Here you get a object of data. Inside that data you get your status and then student data. Let me zoom it. So here you get your student. So these details only will be pasting inside our input fields. Done. So now guys, you can get back. So same thing what we have done. We have got this response.data.students. So that is, this is your complete response. Then data, inside data we have the student. So you have correctly called and pasted inside this variable student, and this student variable we have called in the input field. So let me just show you. Let's get back on the form. So this is my form starts here. So you see that in the v model we call that student dot name. Okay, so make sure you're calling the same things, that is student dot name, phone, email, and course. So all this input field student dot name, email, phone, course. And now guys, you can get back. So you can go back and check with the third ID, that is Varun Govind. Let's click on edit. Here you see in the form we got the correct data. Awesome. Let's begin with update process. So get back. Let's change this button name to update. Okay, and on this update of submit button, it goes to the form at submit prevent. So here, instead of save student, let's tell update student. Let's copy this and change the function name inside your method component. Okay, method. So this is our methods. Here you have a save student. Let's make it to update student. So now guys, here we see we have setting the loading. Okay, so when we click on update, it sets the loading and it sets the title. So instead of saving, let's tell updating. Okay, and then so now guys, let's ignore this right now, and here starts with the axios. So first step, we are going to change this method to put. Okay, so from post to put, because we have created the API to update the data in put method. Let me show you my Laravel application. Here is my route which I'm going to use put method. Okay, so this is my put method I'm using for updating the data. So now you need to copy the correct URL API. So let me get that. So here is the same, and it goes to the update function. So let us copy this and get back. So here you paste student slash id slash edit. So here add dollar, and what will be the id? So we have already stored the id in one variable, that is this dot student id. So we can copy that student id and paste here. So we got the student ID and we send this dot student record. Okay. So what is this record? You can see here. So these are input fields record. So whatever you just change, it will automatically go and store in that student variable. Okay. So inside the student variable, all the names, email, phone, and course, we are sending those data to update it, and we get the response from there. So what response we get? That is response.data.message to display the message. Let me show you. Go back to your student controller on the update. So there are the validation part also, and the success part also, and the I mean failure part also. Okay, so here is the success message. Okay, when the successfully data is updated, it shows you the message student updated successfully. So that thing only is shown here, alert, that it should alert that student is updated successfully, and all other input fields should be null. And then once the data is updated, make the loadings to false, that it should not be still loading. Okay, and then loading. So now guys, here in the catch function, you see that whenever we face any input error fields, that is 422 input bad request, that time we are going to get all the errors and store in one error list. Okay, and inside the catch function, this will not be working. So for that case, what we do, my this we keep a variable outside. So this will be keeping in one variable my this, for example, and that only will be using it. So it should handle the application correctly. As simple guys, and if you want to check this error response also, we can show it. Okay, so now everything is done guys, and now let us just save the file once again and get back and check the output. So refresh. So first step, go back, and if we click edit, it should show the loading file. It didn't show. Why? Let us just check it out. Let me inspect first. So if any error comes, we can find out. Let's move back. Let me comment this. So inside this get student, we need to set this dot. So whenever this function is called, is loading to true. When the loading is done, you can make it to false. Okay. So this was the issue. When loading the page, it was not showing. So now if you refresh, it's loading and then editing the data. Perfect. And now guys, here for the validation, let me enter 4 digit. Let's tell update, and here you see the phone must be 10 digit. Let's make it to 10 digit. 10. Now if you update, student updated successfully, okay, and all the inputs are empty, but we don't need to keep it empty. We are editing it, right? So we need to remove that. So on the update student, we do not require to make it empty. And once the data is updated, we need to remove all the error lists. Okay, this dot error list equal to, save it, and now let us try once again. So here now I'm going to make a email ID wrong. Let's just add update, so it's tell input email ID omprakash@gmail.com. Let me update it, so it should say okay, student updated successfully, and the email error list also is gone. Perfect, guys. So guys, let's go back, and you see, awesome. So guys, we have successfully learned how to edit and update the data in Nuxt JS using Laravel API. Okay. So now guys, in this video, we'll be seeing how to delete the data from the database using Laravel API. Okay, so let's move to the code. So yep, this is my student folder. Inside that student, we have an index.view file. And inside this index.view file, we have a HTML table. And inside that HTML table, we have a delete button. So inside this delete button, we are going to create one click event. So at click, where we'll tell delete student function. And inside this function, I want to pass a event and then the student ID. So you can just copy this student.id and send it here. Done, guys. So we'll be getting that event on this of this click and the student ID too. So now guys, you can just copy this and get below at the script tag. So here is a script tag, and then we go inside the methods, and inside this method we create a delete student function, what we have created at on the click of the delete button. So now guys, first step, we get the event and then the student ID are simple. So we'll be confirming and deleting the record. So for that, you can just use this JavaScript function. Okay, so inside this confirm function, add, are you sure you want to delete this data? Okay, so if it is yes, then you write the inside code for the delete. Okay, so let's type it, axios dot delete method, and then get the response arrow function and open and close curly brace. So here you pass the API. So what is my API in the Laravel? Let me show you. Go to my api.php, and here is a method. Let's move back. So let's paste it, and we need a complete URL. So let me just copy from the top. So this is my complete URL, /students, then the ID. So just add a dollar symbol here, so it will be editable. And now you can copy the student ID and send here. And make sure guys, this is a tilde symbol, okay, in the end and in the beginning. So when we are clicking on this delete, it should show it's deleting. So for that, you can add a event dot target dot inner text. Inner text equals to, where you'll be telling deleting. So once deleted, you can mention as delete, and then again you can just call the data get students function. Okay, so this is nothing but the above function to get the students list. As simple. Now you can save it and just run the code. Yep, let's move, refresh here. Let me add one data, dummy data, dummy. Let me copy this, dummy course, dummy email, dummy phone number. Let's click on save. Okay, email ID mismatch. Let me add the correct email and let's save. Okay, phone number also 10 digit we require it. So I have added, student created successfully, and go back. So here we find the correct dummy details. And now let's click on delete. Are you sure? First I'm going to cancel so nothing happens. And now if I click OK, then let's see. Okay, it's loaded. Done, guys. So guys, we have seen that how to delete the data from the database using Laravel API in Nuxt JS application. Okay, so guys, in this video that's it. Let's get started with new topic in the next videos. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Please subscribe, like and share.